Alright guys, today we are going to be starting a series, just going over some short game drills from each of the guys here. We're just going to take you through some of the things I do as a scratch golfer. We're going to start off with this drill that I kind of like to do. To be honest, I don't practice my chipping as much as I should, but when I do, I need to make sure that, my alignment is squared away. That's kind of one of the first things that can get off for me. So I usually have an alignment stick, just especially for this first drill. Just so I know where my feet are and that I know it's in a neutral position. So this first drill, what I'm going to do is I start off with 3 balls, and I'm just going to rotate between hitting a 60 degree, a 54, and a 50. I have 3 wedges. Kind of just getting a baseline for how each one of them is coming off. To be honest, I chip a lot with a 60 degree, but it's still good to know, and good to know that I have a couple more shots around the green. So if you see a couple weird bounces, just know that they just punched the greens. It's getting towards the end of the golf season, so they're trying to preserve the greens, but to be honest, it's one of the worst punch jobs I've ever seen, but it'll be all right. So as you can see, all 3 of those shots kind of reacted differently. So I'll be doing this probably about 5-10 minutes. One thing I like to do in this drill is kind of switch up the ball position. I'm just gonna kind of put the ball back here. As you can see, it's clipped a lot better, and it kind of comes out a little lower with a little more spin. But that's just kind of something I like to play around with each club, just kind of switching up the ball position. All right, so now that we got our alignment all taken care of, we're gonna just kind of do another drill I kind of like to do. It's kind of just hitting it with one hand. To be honest, I don't really know the benefits of this, but chipping is really all about feel. And so I feel like this gives me a lot of good touch around the greens and a lot of good feels. So basically for 5 minutes, I just kind of walk around the chipping green and chip with both just right arm and then my left arm. And so yeah, it kind of goes like this. I'd sometimes shank it, to be honest, but we're gonna give it a try. It's kind of tough in these lies to get enough speed on it with one arm, but as you can see, you can kind of get used to it. Chipping is probably one of the most unique shots in golf. It's definitely the most creative. So I don't know, just fun things like this, just to keep it interesting, and always be working on your feel. I think it's a really productive way of spending your time. I think it's a lot better than just hitting random shots and just doing stuff that you always do on the course. I think it makes your practice more fun. All right, now I'm gonna switch to the left hand. This usually comes out a lot lower, which is kind of fun. Just kind of play a lot of bump and runs. One technical thing that I like about just the one arm drill is it kind of eliminates all the body movement, makes it a lot more simple. I tend to, when I'm chipping normal, have too much, the body's just too involved. So just having a simple back and forth motion is really helpful for me, just to quiet down the body and just kind of let my arms do a lot of the work. Okay, so now we got our 3rd and final short game drill. I saved the best for last, definitely the most challenging for last. But a lot of what chipping is reading the lie, especially in the rough. Just the lie is gonna determine how the ball like comes out off the face. And so basically what I do for this last drill is I'll set up a ball that kind of, if you can get closer with the camera, kind of ball that's sitting up in the rough, and then a more neutral lie, and then kind of more buried lie. And what I'll do is just kind of read the lie and just kind of feel how that ball is going to come out. So with a lie like this, it should come out pretty high and soft, and so I don't have to put much speed on it. And so we're going to go to this first pin right here, and we're just going to hit a more neutral shot, not have to do anything special to it. As you can see, that came out pretty good, pretty soft. So for the second one, it's still a pretty good lie, but I had to put a little more speed on it than I did the last one. But yeah, just reading the lie. See, I didn't put enough speed on that. And then I can't really get away with that with here. I'm gonna have to hit a more full shot and still get under it. That was a lot better. But yeah, I'll just go around the green, just hitting with different lies. All right, that'll wrap up today's video. Just 3 key drills to become a scratch golfer. One thing that you guys can take away from is just being creative with all the drills that you do. Even if you only have 15-20 minutes, you can do a lot of drills that can benefit your game. So yeah, thank you guys all for watching.